Good morning, everybody, and happy Saturday. If you haven't been here before, my name is Cindy, and the name of my Facebook page and my Etsy shop is Elevita Designs. And we've been working on this particular design here for the past few weeks, and we're going to continue on. So let's go ahead and get started. What I need to do is shade the red on here. So the color I like to use is Black Plum. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to try and get as much as I can done today. I got a lot going on, so I don't know how long I'll be on here for. So, but I'm going to try. I'll be here as long as I can. Let's see here. Give me just a second. Sorry about that. I thought I was missing a few elements of this design, but it looks like I'm okay. So before I get started, I want to say congratulations, West Branch, on a well-played game last night. My goodness gracious, wow. That's all I can say. 6-0. Holy smokes. And you won convincingly. Wow. To Minerva. Wow, I'm really, really sorry. Yikes. Hopefully you guys have a winning season next year. And congratulations to Eliza Hurst for being crowned homecoming queen. What a lot of people don't realize is Eliza Hurst is actually our kicker. Yes, we have a girl on our football team, and she is awesome. She is amazing. And, you know, I can just tell she's a class act. Yes, she was crowned homecoming queen last night, and the weather was terrible. It just rained. So that was, and the fans just stuck around for that. That was just amazing. But anyhow, she put away her crown and gown and put on a pair of jeans and was on the sidelines with the team. Just a class act. Just, she's amazing. Just amazing. So the dance is tonight, and I hope we have good weather for it, because that hurricane that's going on down in Florida, we're feeling it here. We've been getting a lot of rain the past few days and high wind, and yesterday was no exception. And to my friends down in Florida, and I have quite a few, I know that hurricane is going on in the area that I lived in, and I hope you all are safe. So, I know my nephew, oof, boy oh boy. He's posted some pictures. It's not good. So, not good at all. Now, something I noticed after the fact, and I wasn't going to go ahead and repaint this, and I have since corrected the file. I don't actually have the score lines on the Santa Claus for the sleeves. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and use my cheater and just draw my own lines and do some shading that way. But like I said, I have since corrected them. So if I didn't say earlier, I am using Black Plum. That's what I use. I like to use Country Red. That's the base color of these outfits. And I like to shade with Black Plum. It is a very, very dark color. So you want to be careful. And I like to just try and build it up. And this line hopefully will disappear. It's a water soluble. I might have pressed a little bit too heavy on it, but hopefully it does disappear. It's been a busy morning so far. Busy, busy, busy. Busy week period. And I don't know how well my phone is going to pick up sound, but it has been a move fest around here the past couple days. I don't know, you know, they switched out cows. Maybe there's mamas and babies, I don't know, that they're separating, but that's what it reminds me of. And it's been something else. So if you hear a lot of mooing, it's the cows. And whatever they're mooing about, I don't know. I'm getting a really harsh line, harsher than what I like, but it's probably going to be one of those days. And I'll need to go back and highlight on the other side of that. Have to let that dry. I need to darken up this side a little bit more. And we'll see exactly. I want to do some shading behind where this will go. So what I like to do is get my placement of exactly where this hat band is going to be. And then I like to drop it down just a little bit, get my arch, and mark it with my pencil. So I can kind of get the curve of this so I can do my shading. That's just what works for me. So that's what I like to try and do. Something else you can do is you can also dry brush if you wanted shading. And I'll be going back over that a couple times. I know I want it a lot darker than that. And then I need to do the crease of the hat. That might end up being dark enough. We will see once that dries. Matter of fact, that shading on him is a little bit too dark to suit me. So, what I'm going to try and do, I mean, it's on there pretty dark, is I'm going to try and calm it down by floating some of the base color back over it. It's on there pretty dark. I don't know if it'll work or not. We will see. A lot darker than what I like. So I like this black plum. It's a beautiful shading color, especially for the country red, but it can be a little bit too much at times. Let's see how this is. I think I'm going to darken that up just a little bit more. At least around the top. That probably should be good enough. Try and go over the shading around the sleeves just a little bit more. Oh, that was way more. It's gonna be one of those days, I think. We'll have to let that dry pretty good and try it again. All right, try and shade behind. I'm gonna build up a little bit of shading right here to the side. Just one a little bit darker in here. Then I'll go up over here. And I know I need to coat all these white pieces again. They didn't really end up getting a really good coat the last time I was on here. And I think I'm going to sand them a little bit just to smooth them out a little bit more. I try not to sand over where I'm going to be painting. Only because I don't want that dust and debris to get on my painting area. Something I kind of thought about doing with the white part of the cuffs and the hat was to kind of give them a texture by stippling, by using multiple colors, and it kind of does the shading and highlighting automatically, but you just stipple your paint on. Let's see. Maybe I could make this a little bit wider. Now, if he wasn't holding anything, something I would do, and I might just do it in certain areas, is I would go around this beard just to add a little bit of shading as well. But I know he's going to be holding this gingerbread, and that's going to cover up a lot of the area. Let's just see, out of curiosity, how much. I mean, I could go around in here, and I think I just might, just to bring in a little bit more darkness. I'm just gonna kind of do like a light shadow. I'm not gonna try and make it as bold. Hello. I mean, I'll go over it a little bit more just to give a little bit more shadow, but I don't want it as dark as the arms. You know, it's always best to kind of do something like this now before you have the beard painted. Because the last thing you want to do is get this color on your white beard. I'm going to have a tough time in spots covering the beard as it is because I missed my lines. So it's going to be a little testy. to, well, that's going to have to dry a little bit. I should have highlighted, but I didn't first. But I need to go on the opposite side of the shading area. Just to bring in a little bit lighter color and kind of, the whole purpose of this is, is to just give that 3D illusion. I don't even know if you'll be able to see it once you put that on there. Yeah, you can see it a little bit. Hi, honey. I'm not breaking up, am I? All right. That's enough of that. So, I know the color I was using is warm white. We need to paint her hair, her collar, his beard, and all the other extra stuff. So hopefully it doesn't take too many coats. And hopefully this red doesn't transfer onto my white. If so, it's going to be a early changing of the water today. That wasn't too bad, that area. We'll see how the rest of it goes. It's a pretty gloomy, doomy day here. And I think we are supposed to get some rain. Definitely had a lot of rain last night and a lot of high winds. Hello. And it's just, you know, that hurricane that's affecting us. It's not as bad as what some people happen to have to deal with. So we are quite lucky. Now we do have a mustache that you will glue over top of this beard. I just love using this little brush to go in these areas that I need to be really careful at. It's just a really comfortable brush to hold on to. I'm actually going to start, I might look at buying more of these, this particular brand of brush, because I really like it. It's really a nice brush. I have too much water. My only critique for this particular brush is I wish the bristles were actually longer. farm hands have been here non-stop the past few days. Yeah, I'm trying to think when we usually have, they bring baby calves over here. I want to say, like, it's October, September, November. So I think, hello, but I could be wrong. But they always bring the babies over here. And of course, you know, they do have a building up there for birthing. But when they separate the mamas from the babies, ay, ay, ay. It's sad. Those mamas are calling for their babies, and the babies are calling for their mamas. And they moo all day long. Non-stop. Non-stop. After a while, you just learn to tune it out. But I do think they got something going on because they have the lights on in the barn all night in the one building. So I definitely think there's some birthing going on here. Cows in labor are getting ready to have babies. And I think I seen the vet the other day, so. I really don't need to be careful going around this area because my mustache is gonna cover it up. I guess it's just habit. It's definitely habit. And I'm gonna be going around the outside of this beard with a little bit of gray, I think. Plus I gotta paint down in here too. But if I can just get a nice coat around where all these curves are, and about halfway up the beard, well, down, I think everything is gonna be good, because you got the gingerbread, then you've got the mustache that's gonna hang down. So a lot of this beard is gonna probably be covered up. So I need to let this dry and see exactly where everything's gonna be, so I'm not sitting here painting over areas that I don't really need to put a whole lot of, give it a whole lot of attention. And I'm putting a lot of water in my paint today because this paint is drying really, really quick. Something terrible. So that doesn't help with coverage. So I'll let that dry, and then I'm going to see exactly where I need to be. Come down here and paint this. I probably should have done that stippling effect. I think that would have been a nice change. And I got Snickers down there barking like a dog. It's an interesting day for animal sounds. Crazy. Wow, 1 o'clock almost. Where did the day go? Holy smokes. Wow. I've been up since 5. All right. Okay. I better watch myself. So that's on the white paint, so I gotta watch. Watch. So really just the outsides and right around in here. Okay. Ohio State is on today, but they don't play till later. They're playing Michigan State at Michigan. I don't know what Michigan's weather's like this week. I mean, we had some rain last night, and to the people that stayed for the high school football game, holy smokes, you guys got poured on. And what's interesting is the high school stadium is not too far from where I live. I can actually see the lights to the stadium. A mile to maybe a mile and a half from where I'm at, where I live. And it was pouring there. We happened to be watching it on TV last night instead of being in attendance. And you could just see the rain. I mean, it was brutal. But we didn't have it here. We were not getting that type of rain here. We were getting the wind, but not what was going on there. Pretty crazy. Hello. And the rain we got this week, holy smokes. I actually thought that when I come home they would have the roads closed due to flooding. It was so loud, the rain and the thunder, that you could hear it in the shop that I work in. And, you got equipment going. They pipe in music, which is nice. I mean, you could hear it over top of all that. It was that loud. So I just can't even imagine what they're going through down in Florida. I've been there, done that. They can keep it. It's not for me. Along with all the other stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of flooding going on. Some people I know have posted some pictures and videos and no. And I have a friend who lives up near Tallahassee, and he hasn't really gotten a whole lot. So he is blessed. So I don't know if this week's football game for the Buccaneers is being played in Tampa. That would be tough if it is, because the roads are flooded there. Something terrible. Trying to think, I think hurricane season, I think it ends in November, if I'm not mistaken. It's been so long since I lived there, I kind of forget the ins and outs. But I think it ends in November. I can't remember right offhand when it starts. But I know right before we moved back, boy, there was a bad storm. And a lot of flooding. And we had a sunroom on the back, and it was, the house we lived in was a one-story, but it was kind of elevated off the road. But the water was creeping up, getting ready to go into our garage. And it was only an inch to 2 inches from coming in our sunroom. So, and someone posted a picture in one of the groups I belong in for laser cutters, and it's underwater. Well, it was underwater. Now it's like, which, you know, it's ruined. There's nothing you can do because, I mean, those units are heavy. I just have a tabletop version, and mine's heavy. I can't even imagine some of these bigger models. I just can't. I hate that this white is just so blotchy. And you have to add water to your paint to help move it around. Otherwise, if you just put a big glob on your paintbrush, because you don't want to do several coats, you're going to end up seeing all your brush strokes. I just prefer not to do things that way. I mean, you can see the brush strokes in there. I mean, there's just no getting around this. So hopefully that'll be enough to cover it. Let that dry really, really good. I need to get a coating on all this other stuff. I think the next time I do a Santa Claus, if I happen to do another one this year, I'm going to do a textured painting on the cuffs and stuff like that. Just for something different and for a different type of look. I don't have the greatest brush to do that, and that's usually a struggle for me, but I think I am going to do that just for a different look. All right, we're going to start on her hair. I'm going to use this and kind of tap off the paint and just go lightly. And if I get in the score lines, dig it out quickly before they dry. Because those lines on her hair just gives her a little bit of extra character. It's almost time for me to empty my water. I'm going to try and get all this white on. Get it the way I like it, and then I need to change my water. Because right now it looks like strawberry milk. I don't know if the sponge is small enough that I can. I'm going to try and get in here, get rid of the blotchiness. I actually thought about shading with a little bit of antique white this time around. I must have stuck my finger in something. As I say, I've got white paint all over my thumb. And it's easy to do. I'll have to go back over that. Well, I think that's going to be covered by... Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. I dug that out a little bit more than I should have, but sometimes I just think it's easier to paint with a brush. Hello. Well, hopefully this color does not take too many coats. I think those darker areas might be, whoa, too much paint. I didn't even think about shading underneath her collar. Didn't even think about it. and I don't think I'm going to. And you don't need to shade and highlight everything. I know this color, it's not that important that you shade under it. I mean, the arms, you need to do that separation on the sleeves, that's for sure. But this collar is, I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, what's going to happen is, I mean, first off, you can't highlight white. That's one thing. But what will transpire, and this is just my opinion, is the collar is going to look flat. So there won't be any shadow behind it, you know, underneath it rather, I'll say it that way, to kind of give an optical illusion. So this is just going to remain flat looking. Now I will shade under her face onto the collar. So maybe just by doing that little bit, it'll kind of make up for not shading underneath the collar onto her dress. And if push comes to shove and I feel that I really, really need to do it, I will, and just, I'll have my Q-tip ready to wipe off if I have an oops moment. I think her hair's about good. And let's see how he finally is. Definitely need to go over this mustache again. That's maybe right in here is a little blotchy. All right, let's put a little bit more out. Go over this mustache. Tell me I did not do that. I'm having a heck of a day today. All right. I think that's kind of good for now. Let me just go over a couple areas in her hair. And I do need to go over her collar again. So I don't know if you can see it. No, you can. I'm looking at my iPad, and you can't see how blotchy this stuff is in person. I mean, I could probably just say the heck with it and let it go, but that's just not the type of painter I am. And then if I was to decide to sell this later on down the road, I couldn't in good conscience put it up for sale for someone to buy, knowing that it just looks the way it does. I can't. All right. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break. I need to empty my water. Something terrible. After I touch this up, and then I will be back. So, I will see you shortly. Okay. I'm going to do a little shading underneath her head. I'm going to do sand gray. Going to go around his beard and around the bottom of Santa's, I don't even know what you call that, fur strip. I don't know what that's called. And then, of course, I gotta go around the mustache and all that other stuff. So this is a very, very light gray. I might need to do 2 passes, but we'll just wait and see how that dries. I always build my highlighting and shading up. I'm not looking for anything too bold. I mean, I want a little bit of change of color, but nothing really major. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that color. I'll try a different brush. just very minimal. I'm just trying to add a little bit of gray to her hair, just to kind of highlight these score marks. But nothing too bold and bright. Well, that's a little bit darker than the other one, but that's okay. I can go back after this dries. Hello. Just a minimal amount of gray. It actually looks darker on there than it does in person. Hello. And I think this time around, and I haven't done it on the other ones, I actually think after these dry, I'm gonna go around the entire outside edge of her hair with this gray. And something else I want to do, because we're gluing a nose on top of his mustache, is I want to put a little bit of a shadow underneath where his nose is going to be. So I'll just place his nose right there, hold on to it, and then just kind of shade around it. I'll just hold it on there on one pass, and then I'll come back. I'll remove it, but I already have my line. Then, of course, I'm going to go around the outside edge of his mustache as well. Something I probably should have done was shade above this. I probably will go back and do that with the black plum. Yeah, I think I'm gonna shade around the outside edge of her hair now. Hopefully I can just get like a light thin strip. Just to kind of tie everything together. She's gonna have more gray hair this time around than white. Might have to go back and do another coat. Do a little bit on his bottom of his eyebrows, just to break up the white. I know you can't see that. And I'm just gonna go on one side of this ball. what this is doing, by using this gray, and this is just my thought, I feel as though it's kind of like aging it, giving it an older look. Just giving it a little bit more of a rustic feel, country feel. I'll probably go back over that and darken it a little bit. I'm telling you, I'm having a day today. Try a wider brush. Maybe I can get a little bit wider float at the bottom. Just trying to cast a little bit of a shadow. I'm just dirtying up the white area, basically, is what I'm doing. Do I really want to go around the outside? I think I do. Just lightly. At least on the top. Just going to go around this hump part. I'm not going to go all the way around the bottom. Okay. I need to paint the hollies, and then I think we'll glue these together. I'm going to use Hauser Medium Green. And this green's always taking a couple coats anymore, so. Whoa. Be digging out my score marks there. Let's see. Sometimes too, as you keep cutting down these sponges, the pieces get smaller and smaller. And I'm actually going to try and use this little piece here for the holly to sponge it. See how it goes. And it pretty much covered all of it except for right at the very top. And see, that actually wasn't dry. And I know you can't see this probably on the camera, but I actually took off my paint right there because I put another coat on before that was actually dry. So if you can tell, you can see a little bit of that wood there. So it's really important to let your layers dry before adding another, because that's what'll happen. It'll pull off the paint. I gotta let that dry right before I can do any type of highlighting and shading. Okay. We'll do a little Hauser light green to highlight the top of those holly leaves. That's actually a little bit more than what I wanted. Hello. Just trying to create a little bit of brightness on the pointy tips of this. Do a little shading on the bottom, and then I think this will be good. And we will do a little bit of glowing, and that'll probably be all she wrote for today. Yeah, something about that Hauser dark green, and it's probably kind of hard to tell, but I can really see when I put it on wood. It has a blue cast to it. It really, really does. All right, let it dry. Let's start glowing. Put some of these brushes away so I have some room. at this glued. And I very may will come back on later on and paint today. I don't know. Like I said, Ohio State is playing at 7:30. We will see. If it's a blowout, I may be back on. Whoops. Press down too hard. You know what? Start again. That might be a little bit too much glue. Okay. We're getting there. I just rather put my glue on with a Q-tip. I don't know why. I mean, this isn't a really small piece, but I don't know. Hello. And as you can see, I'm going to glue the bowl next, but there's just a small little area right here where you'll line up. And then to glue on this mustache, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I think the smart choice is, okay, because the area is pretty minimal, I'm going to glue on this gingerbread first. Because this definitely has it has to line up. So, and the proper gingerbread to go with Santa Claus is the one with the round eyes and the round buttons. And you just match the cuffs down here. And see what that does is now I know exactly how far I can go down on my mustache. So that's how I recommend if you were to purchase this, how you would glue this on. I mean, I would have had plenty of room, but, you know, I'd rather be safe than sorry. I mean, I still have plenty of room there, but like I said, I'd rather be safe than sorry. Now, really, all we have to do is the packages for the elves and the rest of the elements for this particular design. Now, there are no cuff marks on Mrs. Claus, so you can really put this anywhere. What I recommend is you can see where the sleeves are, so kind of keep that in mind when you're placing this particular this particular piece. Kind of keep it the cuffs even and keep it where the sleeves are. That's all there is to it. So these two are done. And then we got our little elves. I don't think I can zoom out any more than I already am. So this is where we're at. Yeah, I can't go any further than that. Nope. I can zoom in, but I can't zoom out. But, now let me just go down a little bit further so you can see. Hold on a second. I'll move my camera back a little bit. So hopefully you can see. Yes, I'm in my comfy clothes. Gotta be comfortable when you're painting. So, that's about all I can zoom out. So that's where we are. Pretty festive. So, I'm gonna get off here for now. I may or may not come back on today. I'll be on a little bit tomorrow. Here's my thought, and this is just a rough go at it. I was going to do the light green, but it was too bright. So then I thought about this dark green and then highlight it. And it's a very just sloppy paint job. So ignore that. That's just a test piece. I still have my other ones. But that's what that would look like. What do you think about the dark package? Give me your thoughts. So, do you like that? Is it too much? Is it too green? I don't know. And you know, and here's the thing too. You know, it looks kind of weird. It looks like a lot of green because, you know, this is a piece that I did incorrectly, but, you know, you have the hands. So, you know, there's not going to be a whole lot of green showing like there is there. So, you'll have to let me know. Leave a comment. But, until then, I am going to get off here. I may or may not be back on later on today. So, yeah, if you put all these four together, they look pretty cute together. I like them. I like the colors. It's very festive, and I can't wait to finish this project. So, hopefully you'll join me. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.